Clorinde over there? They look like they might have run into some kind of trouble. Let's go check out what's going on.
Still no dice?
Not at all. And I've asked pretty much everyone in the court of Fontaine already. Lynette's ears drooped as soon as she heard that.
Selamlar, hoş geldiniz. Settim izleyenler veya canlı izleyenler.
What about Chiori and Charlotte? I feel like both of them would be more...
I've asked them already, but they're both pretty busy right now. I just gave the members of the Spina a few days off, too, so I don't want to bother them either.
This is getting pretty difficult.
Navia, Clorinde, what's up?
Oh my. Well, if it isn't my dear partners. How are you all doing?
Seni gördük daha güzel olduk mu falan diyormuş.
Navia?
Huh? Oh, you mean...
Aa, dizli iş çeviriyorlar.
This is our chance.
Değilmiş biz yaptılar.
Do you need our help with something?
Oh, precisely. My dear partners, we've got a huge problem right now that... Oh,
whoa, for real?
Absolutely. We've already exhausted all our other options.
Anlatın neymiş?
Paimon?
Yes.
Would you join us and play Marashosei
Aa,
Hunter
biliyordum.
Judgment Day?
Biliyordum.
Marashosei what now?
It's a new game script by the Tabletop Troupe, a local roleplay adventure club.
Ever heard of the Tabletop Troupe? They put out games that allow you to participate in a story and roleplay characters with your friends.
That sounds super interesting.
Clorinde and I are both veteran members of the club. Recently, someone came up with a new script, and when they asked, of course I couldn't refuse.
Generally speaking, scripts at that level of development...
Whoa. I know I was the one that handed you the script, but some of us...
Anyway, the script calls for a team of 4. Yes.
Bir kişi eksik, o da biziz.
So, you're saying you'll help us out?
Aa, ben yapamam, yok. Ben gideyim.
Kind of a package deal. Is that okay?
That's not a problem. I'll adjust the pace based on the actual number of players and ensure that everyone has a good time.
Well, Traveler, what do you think? Wanna play? Paimon will follow your lead.
Varız.
Well, that solves our problem. You have our thanks.
Woohoo! I'll go grab the script manager.
The script manager? Didn't you just say that you gave Clorinde the script?
The club introduced a completely new kind of gameplay for the script. In this iteration, the Game Master's version of the script is incomplete. The script manager provides the next part of the script only after players have complete. On top of that, in order to increase player immersion, the club has created some of the story's sets and scenes in real life. We'll only know where we should...
Wow, you're right. Whoever wrote this script really did put in a lot of work.
And it's got a real healthy amount of suspense, right? I mean, even the GM doesn't know how the story...
I look forward to experiencing it with you all.
Why don't you go meet up with the others first? They should all be waiting at Chioriya Boutique.
Ha,
Come over with the script manager as soon as
Chioriya
I
buldum.
find them.
Sounds good. Remember to always watch where you're going.
You say that like I'm 6 years old or something. Let me think. What kind of character should I play this time?
I just hope you'll pick up some useful skills this time. Oh, and stop trying to persuade it.
Neredeler?
Skyward! Scatter! Sorry to keep you waiting.
Ha?
You're back.
Bunlar da buradaymış.
You've got the Traveler and Paimon with you too.
What a pleasant surprise. I assume you'll be joining us for the game then?
Linny, Farina! Paimon didn't know you were playing too. Are you also...
I'm more of a casual member if anything. I haven't taken part in... Still, I'm sure it'll be fun being a player for the first
Mhm.
time. I'm looking forward.
Well, I'm not a member of the club at all. Clorinde simply woke me up first thing this morning, said there was a good script worth experience.
If you're interested, I can give you a referral.
Gülü küçültüre %40 indirim kazanırsın.
Membership fees.
I think I'll wait to see how this experience plays out first, especially when it comes.
Do you participate in a lot of tabletop troop activities, Clorinde?
You could say that. She's actually one of the few senior game.
Right. I knew about that even when she was still my subordinate.
It's nothing. Really, just a small hobby of mine.
Wow. I'm so used to seeing you be all upstanding and intimidating as the champion duelist. It's kind of hard to imagine you roleplay.
Surely you jest. I would never intentionally make things difficult for my player. I maintain a clear boundary between my professional and personal lives. The me you see at court represents the law and order of Fontaine. But in my personal life, I'm just an ordinary person. Someone who feels angry.
Well, you say that, but for all the time I've known you, I don't think I've ever seen you cry. I've seen you get angry, sure.
I was probably
Kıvamışlıydı.
Is that so? Well, in any case, I just feel like even in your...
So you want to see me cry? That might be a little difficult.
No, that's not what I meant.
I'm back. Here, allow me to introduce you to the script manager, Mr. Florian.
Sanki natlanlı bir karaktermiş gibi tarzı.
Pleasure to meet you all.
Hello. Wait, are you a champion duelist too, Mr. Florian?
Oh, no. This is just the costume provided by the club. I occasionally play a few of the roles as
That sounds like a lot of work.
It's nothing. It's the least we can do to give the players a more immersive experience. Anyway, allow me to give you a brief introduction of the script. This script was adapted from the real history of the Marashose hunters. You all will play the role of hunters from a bygone era and resolve a series of events unfolding.
Paimon's not super familiar with the history of the Marashose hunt.
Oh, no problem at all. I can give you a brief rundown. So, basically, Marashose hunters were people who dedicated themselves to hunting monsters and protecting the city. Their story can be traced back to the ancient Remurian dynasty, as well as the first hunter, Cassiodor. But I'll leave the finer details for you to seek out and discover later.
And I'll provide additional commentary as the story progresses.
In that case, brave hunters, are you ready to set out on an unknown adventure?
Yay, we're ready.
Just one sentence and it's like we're in the story already.
Aha, I see many a determined gaze before me. Very well.
So, as we follow the story, it leads us to specific scenes? Ooh, sounds pretty innovative.
It's the exact location of the scene, as well as the formal permit. Please check all your belongings, everyone, and make sure you haven't forgotten anything. Once you're ready, please follow me to the designated location.
Sounds good. Hunter squad, move out.
Nerede? Ha, buradan. Okay.
Skyward!
Geldim.
Skyward! Scatter!
Whoa, they really have thought of everything. Even the Phaetometer is here and ready to go for us.
Kadar uçak bu ne ya?
Phaetometer.
Aynı anda sorduk.
It's a card that's used to determine action success or
Hmm.
failure. We'll need to use it when we try to use certain skills.
He, D&D oynuyor bunlar. Tamam, anladım şu an.
And what about all the dessert and tea? Is that for us as well?
That's what the message said.
Really? That's so nice. It feels just like a tea party with friends.
Those snacks have Paimon's name written all over them.
I think you might be more of a snack hunter than a Marashose hunter, Paimon.
Yeah.
Snack hunter Paimon reported for duty. If there are delicious snacks to be found, Paimon will track down every last.
The desserts are great. But I'm still looking forward to the story more than anything.
Very fair. Then, let us begin. First, please pick up the blank character cards in front of you and write down your name and
Aynen.
You can find an abbreviated version of the rules printed on the back of your character card. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. In this story, everyone is a Marashose hunter. To reflect this, the club has prepared a small badge for everyone.
Oo.
Ooh, nice.
Aynı anda uğradık yine.
As hunters, you have proficiency in swordsmanship and fighting by default, so there's no need to allocate any additional skill points to those areas.
Swordsmanship? So there's a fighting part to all of this? Paimon's not sure she can do all that on her own. Maybe...
Why don't you share a character card then? The traveler will be the Marashose hunter, and you can be his
Chat çalışmıyor mu? Bir saniye ya. Ne güzel gidiyor şu an yanında. Selam, hoş geldin. Zetti, ben mesajını da görmemişim. Sohbetinde bir sorun var galiba herhalde. Çünkü yazdıklarım yok şu anda. Bir dakika. Şimdi geldi, tamam. Selam, hoş geldin bu arada. Geç gördüm, kusura bakma.
Kinda like in real life.
So, for the name, do I fill it out with the name of my character?
Yep, it can be any name you like.
You can use your real name too if you want. I do that whenever I get too lazy to think of a new name.
Oh, so it would be like experiencing
Gençin
a different life.
karakterleri D&D'yi keşfediyor şu anda.
In that case, I think I'll continue to use the name Linny then.
Next up is the skill sheet. You have a limited amount of skill points that you can use to learn a number of skills. The more points you invest in a particular skill, the easier it will be to pass associated.
I'll take persuasion and investigation. Those are must-haves when it comes to missions like these.
Oh, those skills sound like they'd be useful for gathering intelligence. Good idea, Navia. Just as expected of a veteran player.
So, should we also take those skills then?
Not necessarily. Since we're working together as a team, we could leave the negotiations to Navia and use our skill points to pick up for example, I think I'll take stealth and sleight of hand. That will give us more options
senlik
in
oldu.
situations we can't
Bir saniye. Hop hop hop. Hop hop hop. Hop hop. Okay.
Oh, interesting. I wasn't thinking about it like that. Let me see. I'll take arts and performance. I'm not quite sure.
Well, that leaves us. What do you want to learn, traveler?
Biz yemekte olalım. Biz yemek yapalım.
Gotta say, this suits you Like good food.
Futbolsun ya.
Oh, so you want to help
Aynen
people
öyle,
get
evet.
injured. That's nice. So what do you think? Are you sure you want to learn these two skills?
Evet, eminim.
Let's see. Oh, looks like you each have enough points to choose one final skill.
You've all
Okay.
such classic skills. It's fine to go a little bit.
Why do I get the feeling she's getting ready to cause trouble?
Sorun çıkarmıyorsun.
For example, this one here. Summon. Doesn't it sound super mysterious and cool?
Oh, I saw that one just now as
Eyvah.
well. The description says this skill can be used.
Ha, samurlamak için tamam, şimdi aldım.
Building rules, huh? But
Oh, that's not for us to worry about, my friend. Just learn the skills that interest you, and the GM will take care of the rest.
All right, you've convinced Paimon. Let's learn summon then. I can't wait to see.
Well, now that everyone's more or less finished creating their character, since 2 of our players are doing this for the first time, though, let me ask. Would you like to play on easy mode or
Ha,
authentic mode?
dur.
What's the difference between the two?
Eyvah.
In role-playing games, the story sometimes changes based on the decisions of the players and for example, if you fail a check, that means you cannot use the target skill in that scenario. A critical failure may even result in further negative consequences. If you choose to play in authentic mode, every time you elect to use a skill, you'll need to use the Fatometer to see whether if you choose easy mode instead, every check will be successful.
Okey, tamam, anladım. Tamam. Çok keyifli, tam aradığım şey.
I'd like to focus on the story. I suppose I should pick easy mode. I'd feel bad if I brought the team down.
Hayır, niye? Hayır, gerçekçi olsun, kolay değil.
Don't worry about that. RNG is
Evet, gerçekçi mod.
knowing what you might have to overcome.
Ben Navia'yım. Gerçekçi modu açın.
I'd rather be mentally prepared for what might.
Alright, then I'll mark down Farina for easy mode. All her checks will be successful by default.
What about you, dear partner? How would you like to play?
Are you sure?
Gerçekçi ya. Evet.
Trust me, you'll see the beauty of our. Honestly, I don't think Clorinde would make things too difficult for us, no matter what the Fatometer says.
No promises.
That wasn't super reassuring.
Well, anyway, enough.
Bir saniye. Okay.
Speaking of the story, why is the beginning scene on a beach?
Şimdi şu anda sahildeyiz.
That's because a long time ago,
Ah,
back when human civilization was still in its infancy,
Konuşacağım
powerful
ben ama
demons and evil
çok güzel
sorcerers ruled over the
unutuyordu.
land.
Tamam,
They
zaten
created a
diyorlar
host of
artık.
monsters and sent them to slaughter all
Hmm.
humans soon a group of human rebels banded together. With their swords raised, they swore to brave the darkness, and in doing so, subdue
Baya biz oynayacağız. Wow. Güzel. Sevdim bunu. Keyifli.
Sometime later, as a member of the Marashose Hunters, you receive a commission. Following the address provided on the message, as you inhale, you can taste the slightly salty air of the docks as you begin to survey your surroundings. There aren't many people in the vicinity, but you do
Allah, kim onlar acaba?
eyes meet. And you realize these people are fellow Marashose hunters, likely led to this location after receiving the
You're all Marashose hunters too.
Navia kıyafet çok güzel.
Allow me to introduce myself. The name's Navia. monster hunter by trade and helpful neighborhood businesswoman on the side.
Aynen de evet. Hoş geldin bu arada. Değişik ama çok keyifli geldi bana da şu an.
What say you to traveling together? We can help each other out on the road.
Okay, count me in.
Aa bak kıyafetler çok güzel.
My name is Linny. I've been wandering since I was little and picked up a few less than legal tricks along the way. I was adopted by Amara Shose.
Is this where you introduce your character to everyone? It sounds like they've done this dozens of times.
Hayır hadi yaparsın yap.
My name is Farina,
Huh?
and I grew up in a noble family. I always had a strong interest in performance and the arts.
Size söyleyeyim mi? Çok keyifli bu arada. Ben isterdim öyle bir roleplay yapmayı.
Hey,
Çok keyifli geliyor şu an bana.
cool. You can do it, Farina. That's exactly.
Paimon is Paimon, my friend and companion to this Mara Shosei hunter right here.
Şöyle olsun. Doktor olalım. Sonradan şef olmuş olalım hani. Hani tıpla ilgili bilgilerimiz bulunuyor ama artık şefiz yani böyle. Heh.
I've been studying
Yes.
medicine ever since I was a child. I want to do my part to eradicate these monsters and use what I've learned to heal others.
Ya kıyafetler çok güzel bu arada. Oha çok iyi.
Welcome, welcome. When we face the monsters, I'll make sure to charge in front to give everyone some cover. You can take care of the healing at the back.
Şef ulan şef.
You open your envelopes at the same time.
Şefiz lan biz.
Message reads, to the honorable and trustworthy Mara Shosei hunters, our kingdom is currently facing a grave crisis. The lands outside the capital have been overtaken by
Paimon kim doğacak yoksa aynen öyle.
people are being led astray
Kim
by
doğacak
the
yoksa?
forces of wickedness. We beseech you, please help us resolve this crisis and return peace and stability to our home.
Huh. The layout of this city looks super familiar. It kind of reminds Paimon of Mondstadt.
The scriptwriter must have used a real-world city as a reference when coming up.
As experienced hunters, the layout of the city reminds you of places once traveled. Yet, as you regard the city in front of you, it appears
I carefully read every line of the letter and turn my attention to the signatures at the bottom.
you see a long string of unfamiliar names. It would seem that many of the residents of the city issued this
Babam
petition
izlemesi
together.
diziye yazmış izlerim diye.
They sensed that things were not right.
Ya çok
within the
spoiler
kingdom.
şey olmaz
They
aslında
sent a
ya.
distress signal to the
Fark etmez
outside
yani.
world.
Tam fakat kendi oynamayacağı için şey olabilir evet. Doğru dedim. Neyse ki. Ha geldi bile. Merhaba hoş geldin canım ağla. Geldi bile. Tam hakkında konuşuyorduk.
In that case, why don't we take a walk around the city and see if we can learn anything?
Oh, good idea.
Evet
We might be able to
dedikodu,
get some leads on
dedikodunu
the
yaparken
monsters the
geldi.
bad guys were after.
You look up and see a tavern nearby. It appears to be open for the day.
Kelime abla gel.
Why don't we go check out
Ne diyeceğim acaba diğer hesabı geçip o şeyden mi oynasam ya?
Taverns are usually full of information.
Tamam. Şöyle yapıyorum bundan sonra çıkıyorum. Doğru mu? Sizi biraz az sanki ben duyamıyorum spoilersız. Kalıyorum. Tamam. Çoğaltayım. Ya acaba şey mi yapsaydım şimdi spoiler olacak. Yan hesaptan mı devam etseydim imkanı şu bir şey yapmıyorduk ya. Çok ondan geçelim. Tamamdır o zaman. Thank you. Yay.
And voila!
Navia da var yes. Thank you. Thank you oyun. Ben buradayım şimdi bir saat boyunca haberiniz olsun. Çünkü Navi'ye var.
Hey there! Coming at ya! Yeah! Hiya! Hepna! Coming at ya!
Ben Navi'ye istiyorum. Sen buradan devam et.
As you approach the tavern,
Hacı bozmayalım.
you
Tamamdır o
find a
zaman.
plainly dressed woman standing nearby. She appears to be rather troubled about something.
Greetings, friend. Lovely weather we're having today, don't you think?
Oh, hello. I suppose you're right. The weather today is quite lovely.
It seems like every character included in the script has a certain amount of useful information to offer. If
Oh, come now, don't be sad. Life is all about optimism. Oh,
Huh?
I don't think that's the kind of question we're
nothing turns a frown upside down like good food. How about some macarons?
Navi'ye mi?
I could make you some.
Makaronları.
didn't even take cooking as one of your skill proficiencies.
That's not necessary, miss. Excuse me for saying this, but you don't really look like a chef.
So you're someone who barely smiles and doesn't like sweets. Hey, did she just me?
Bozma Navi'ye bozma.
Clorinde must have broke character for a second.
This isn't getting us anywhere. Traveler?
Are you sure?
Evet.
In that case, please refer to the fate.
Arkadaşlar hangisini seçeyim? Help me. Bir, iki, üç, dört, beş, altı, yedi, sekiz, dokuz, 10, 11, 12 tane var. Bir de 12'ye kadar bir sayı söyleyin bana hemen. Şey yapan kadar ben bir şey bakayım. Hem Clorinde hem Navi'yi de çok sevdim. Ben Navi istiyorum ya. Random mı? Basayım mı rastgele? Baba da 8 geldi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bastım. Oh, thank you. Selam İnternet, hoş geldin. Teşekkür ederim Tufan, beni kurtardığın için.
Oh, it was a success!
İyi çıkar senden kötü. Korkma, iyi çıktı senden.
You remain silent as you prepare a pot and fire to use for cooking. The woman stares at you with her mouth agape as you skillfully cut the ingredients. After some time, a rich aroma begins to fill the air. Even a passing cat can't help but stop in its tracks.
Please have some food. Who knows, maybe you'll feel better after eating something delicious.
Whoa, that's amazing.
Ben seçtirdim. Evet. Senden.
So
Ben
as
seçtirdim.
long as you pass the check, you can pretty much do anything, and it won't be seen as absurd.
Oh, thank you. You were right. This food really did make me feel better.
So, what had you so worried earlier? Could you tell us a bit more about it?
Ben istersin.
Okay. A horde of monsters suddenly appeared near the capital recently. So,
Do you remember when those monsters appeared?
I'm not completely sure. All I know is that my
Ha, kocasına göndermişler.
It all happened so
Evet,
fast.
bizim karakter
When we said our
konuşuyor.
goodbyes,
Konuşuyor,
I
evet.
couldn't even
Ben
tell
onu
where they were
şey yaptım.
sending it.
Çok nadir anlardım.
You have our thanks, friend. We'll find and defeat those monsters as soon as possible. We sincerely hope
Thank you.
Don't worry. We'll find him. Just try to remain optimistic. We don't always get to choose what happens to us. But we do get to choose the little things, like what we eat and how we respond to the things life throws our way.
I'll do my best. You bid farewell to the woman and continue your journey further into the city.
Yes.
As you venture further into the city, the streets appear largely empty. An elderly woman walks past. You see her shake her head as she puts away her wrinkled wallet. A nearby merchant folds his arms and gives you a disdainful look. You get the impression that he's someone who has long gotten used to the sight before him.
Burada mı? Heh.
Although he doesn't seem very friendly, merchants are usually a good source of information, right?
Pardon me, sir. I'd like to ask a question if I may.
That depends. How much are you willing to pay?
Clorinde'yi kanlaştırması peki. Harika.
How about this much?
What do you take me for? Some lowly beggar? You can't even buy half an onion with that amount.
Surely an onion can't be that expensive, right?
What do you know? War is nearly upon us. Everything costs several times what it did before.
Whoa, what a nasty guy. Maybe.
But he still might have information we need.
Eee...
Can you think of something?
Navia'nın yeteneği neydi? Biz nasıl seçtirdik ona? Fırın aslında biraz gösteri yapsa, adamı mutlu etse, adam aslında konuşur.
Okay.
Gelin ya.
I was talking. I secretly used my magic props to summon a bottle of wine without the merchant noticing.
Ah. Kendi seçti bu arada, ben
We
seçmedim.
meant no offense, sir. Here, allow me to offer you this bottle of vintage wine, made only... Ah, I should mention that this wine is the perfect accompaniment to a meal. I'd suggest enjoying it with dinner.
Alright. Go
Konuştu
on
evet.
now.
Do you have any information on the monsters?
Crisis. Those monsters are camped outside the city. And we have limited reserves within the city, so if this can...
Wait, you're saying no one has put a plan in place to distribute supplies or maintain...
We could all starve and those nobles in the palace wouldn't even break a sweat. Who knows? Maybe they've been in cahoots with the monsters all along.
That is concerning. Thank you, sir. We won't take up any...
Okay.
Hey, why did you leave in such a hurry?
Well, you see, that bottle of wine was just a cardboard prop.
Should we try to go somewhere with more people?
Oh, how
Buradan mı
about the
gideceğim?
city square? Follow me.
Tamam.
Before you lies the city's central square. You see a man with a slightly anxious look on his face, pacing back and forth, his head hanging low.
Bu mu? Buymuş.
He doesn't seem to notice your approach. Still immersed in his own thoughts,
This guy seems promising enough. Maybe I can get some information. Hello, sir. Is there anything I can do to help you?
Wait, you're...
Kim?
I'm...
Oh, dear goodness! You're a Marashose hunter!
You recognize us? Ah, are you...
Yes! Oh, I didn't expect you to actually come. Oh, what great
Şansa bak nasıl
What
buldu.
happened here?
Alas, we once lived
Evet,
comfortable,
şeyden
carefree lives.
mesafeye altına
This
alacak.
city used to be free of
Mesela şeyden
monsters.
müşterisini ancak sonra
However, monsters have
Teknolojinin
once again
gücü
surrounded
ya da
the city.
kötü büyücü bizim uğraşı dediğim bir şey varsa canavar dönmesiyle birlikte bir şey varsa bunu
Are there not? It's not a question of numbers. The guards simply have no idea how to deal with them. Most people my age have never even seen one of the monsters, much less been trained to fight against them. When I was a child, though, my grandfather would tell me stories about how them. To be perfectly honest, I was starting to think all those stories.
Well, you can rest easy, friend. The righteous and formidable Marshose hunters are on the case.
The man is touched by your determination and resolve. His eyes
Ah
begin to
be.
well with tears of relief.
Still, if we are going to hunt the monsters, we need to know where to find them.
All I know is that the area outside the city is dangerous.
Hmm.
Although, if you leave the capital through the main gate and follow the road, you should run into a group of
I see.
All right, be careful. Oh, and one last thing.
Okay.
They're actively working with the monsters and have corrupted the court ministers with malicious magic. Even one of our kindest ministers has turned into a boorish and unreasonable figure. Interesting.
Talk about being stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Hmm.
I feel bad for him. Maybe we should try to cheer him up?
Şarkı söyle fırlatı var.
Like, now?
I
Aynen,
appreciate
evet.
your kindness, but for now,
Ah be,
it's more
tüh.
important. Brave hunters,
Keyifliymiş hikaye bu arada ya. Yani beklediğimden daha eğlenceli şu an
There are
birçok
currently two
hikaye
problems in the
görevine
kingdom
göre.
worth solving, right?
Exactly. We need to defeat the monsters outside the city and
But which problem should we tackle first?
well, this seems like a good moment for a break. Take some time and discuss what you want to do. Let me.
I really didn't expect the people in the city to keep us at arm's length like that.
Ah be.
Clorinde said the script took cues from the real history of Fontaine, right? Maybe the real-life Maro...
I wouldn't say it's a perfect representation of history, but there are definitely some similarities.
Sure. As long as it doesn't spoil anything in the script. You brought up bits and pieces.
Paimon wants to know too. The hunters were super powerful, right? Were they all from a special line of super...
No. All Marashose hunters were ordinary mortal fighters. The only thing that set them apart were the special...
Huh? So you mean anyone could be...
In theory, yes. All you would need to do is survive the rigorous training and still, most people dropped out at the
Borun
early
direnmiş
stages,
oldu.
and others
Anlaması
got
gibi
quits the minute they
şeyi.
saw a monster in person.
Kılıcını.
To become a...
What kind of monsters did the hunters fight exactly? Oh, and...
The land of Fontaine once played host to an ancient dynasty known as Remuria. After that dynasty fell, one of the ancient sorcerers of Remuria used his power to assemble a formidable army of golems.
Demek o yüzden orada golemler varmış.
To establish himself.
Now, wait a second. Don't tell me that guy was the inspiration for the evil sorcerer in the script. We still haven't found any in-game information on...
Well, I wasn't planning on going into anything you might be able to find out in the game. But if you want me to talk about something else...
Wait, but those people are all from a super long time ago. Where did you learn all this, Clorinde?
From my master.
By master, you mean Miss Petronia?
Someone you know?
Absolutely. Miss Petronia and my father were good friends. Back in the day, she would often...
Ha,
bring me
berabermiş
in-
bunlar
Let's
ondan.
not get off topic. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Responding to Egeria's call, a number of warriors followed Cassiodor into battle against the monsters. This group of warriors, under Cassiodor's leadership, became known as the Marashose Hunters. Yet, as Fontaine entered an era of peace, their work gradually became obsolete. The Marashose Phantom...
I see. That explains why most of the people...
Is that really a bad thing, though? It can get tough.
Depends on who you ask, I suppose. If the name of the organization no longer...
Speaking of investigations, which problem should we tackle first? Monsters or evil sorcerer?
Canavarlar ya.
Monsters.
Aynen öyle.
That's the main duty of the hunters, right? We can come back to the source.
Well said, Miss Farina. Plus, if the sorcerers really are the masterminds behind this whole thing, defeating the monsters could give...
What about you, partner? What do you think?
Canavarlar öncelikli ya.
Decided then.
All right. After some discussion, you decide to turn...
Ben bu arada bir şey yapsam aslında. Tamam, bunu sonra yapalım. Sohbet at şimdi, saniye. Sohbet değil.
You there, outsiders, halt!
Who's there?
An armored man approaches you. He has a
Kısmını
tall,
vücuda
muscular
kısmında kralı
build,
bir bak da vardı.
determined expression in his eyes.
Güt kitabına dönüyor. Eyvahlar olsun.
And you can tell he's fought in his fair share of... Although he's trying his best to conceal his current state, his uneven gait and the sweat dripping down his forehead. I'm the captain of the guard. I saw you sneaking around the city earlier, so I'll only ask this once. State your purpose, or it's off to the dungeons for the lot of you.
Wow, it's been a while since someone's been this suspicious of us.
I said talk, not whisper between yourselves.
Have you ever heard of the Marchese Hunters?
Marachose hunters? Ha! That fairy tale, you mean? What, do you expect me to believe you're one of them?
Tıp becerim ya. Kaç diyeyim? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Bekliyorum yine, hadi bakalım. 1'den 12'ye kadar. Dört geldi. Başka var mı? Basıyorum 4 o zaman. Basıyorum. Basıyorum. Bastım. Tamam, sen Yunus evde.
With some
Kötü kartı
suspicion,
seçtin
the
bana.
captain allows you to survey his condition after you announce yourself as a trained doctor. Unfortunately, you're unable to adequately assess the source of his injury.
I'm sorry. My skills are a little rusty.
Bad.
Well, this is no ordinary wound. It was inflicted by a monster. Now tell me. He regards you with suspicion for quite some time before shaking his head. Perhaps he's finally accepted that you're here to help.
Sir, we were indeed in the city earlier, but our purpose was only to gather information on the monsters. We're here to help this city and all the people within it. Your guards are still fighting the monsters as we speak. They could be seriously wounded and in grave need of support.
Af. Seçti 18 Naviye.
The man regards you with doubt and concern. After some of our new recruits have never even dealt with a petty thief, and now they're out there fighting monsters.
Oh, please, sir. Don't get too worked up. You need to focus.
Hearing you say that, a glimmer of hope flashes in his eyes. Those monsters aren't easy to deal with, but I just hope all the guards will be able to come
Biz
back to their
yaparız.
families alive.
Based on what the captain said, the monster should be right up ahead.
Şurada diyor.
Let's go. Hopefully we're not too late.
As you approach the battlefield, you see numerous people lying by the side of the road. They appear to be dressed like guards. Their faces are filled with desperation and terror. Some are screaming and cursing in vain, as if still trying to banish the monstrosities they saw from their minds. A few of the wounded look up at you in shock and disbelief.
Burada bassam mutin olur.
Leave
Oo!
this place. Turn around and don't look back, they yell.
Bakın böyle böyle döveceğim işte. Böyle böyle yapacağım, merak etmeyin. Ben döveceğim hepsini. Burada diyor ha.
This is the place he mentioned, right?
You see broken iron swords scattered
Hmm.
all around you, and down all the signs point to one thing. A truly devastating battle just took place here.
Be on your guard, everyone. The monsters might still be around.
Before you can finish your sentence,
Eyvah.
you hear rustling sounds from the surrounding bushes. The monsters have emerged.
Ben dövüşeyim Navia'yla lütfen.
They close in on you without fear. You get the impression that, in their bloodthirsty eyes, you're just another.
A little help here. This thing wants to eat Paimon.
Your battle round begins now.
Kaçı seçeyim? Yardım edin bana, kaçı seçeyim sen. Bence bunlar saatler başına savaşması. 3 7 de olur. Ben chatte niye mesajları görmüyorum ya? Baştan açayım bir. Allah Allah. Bir, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yunus Emre. Eyvah. Güç değişmedi diyor. Şöyle yapayım.
Let's get this show on the road.
Yoo-hoo! Let the world collide.
Yeah.
Coming at ya.
The next battle round begins now.
Niye böyle oldu Yunus Emre peki? Sorabilir miyim?
This one's got your name on it.
Oy. Güzel
The
vurdum.
monsters let out a terrifying roar of anger and resentment before dissipating into thin air.
Ugh, thank goodness it's over.
We're lucky the Marashose Hunter class came with all those preset skill points.
I never knew the photometer even determines the amount of damage you inflict. If you get unlucky,
That's part of the fun. The uncertain.
Just as you begin to celebrate your victory, a suspicious lump
Hmm.
on the ground catches your
Sandık var
attention.
orada.
A suspicious lump. Wait, could it be the thing that appears after every battle?
Evet.
I walk up to it, crouch down, and begin to carefully examine it. I've still got my right glove on, so it should be fine for me to touch it, right?
As you investigate the mound, you discover that the exposed portion appears to be made of wood. With the monsters gone, the small protrusion now awaits your discovery. Poking out of the ground like a
Whoa,
Evet, sandıkmış. Şansım bir şey açarken harcıyorum ondandır. Evet.
With everyone's help, you successfully, even without opening it. You can tell from the mora and jewels
Ooh.
scattered around the chest.
Makes sense. We worked hard for it. Let's open it and we can share what's inside.
I can understand your excitement, Paimon, but think about it. Doesn't it seem like there are people?
Yeah. Think about all the people suffering in the capital. Or all those guards who got hurt from...
Ah be.
Is that how it works? Paimon thought since we were the ones
Well, let's put it this way. Any decision you make during a role-playing game...
But would the people really believe us? It's hard enough for us to prove we're Marcia Say hunters.
That's definitely something we should consider. Maybe we can come up with an
Well, if donating it could cause that much trouble, why don't we use it to buy some...
Looks like you're facing a difficult choice once again. Well, it's getting late.
Aa, hayır, devam edelim.
Wow! Where did the time go?
I'm not sure if it's because I'm having so much fun with you all or because the story is.
Here, here! Ooh, how about we play through the night?
Oynayalım,
Yeah, that won't
oynayalım.
work for me either.
Ah be.
That will give me an earful of.
I understand how you feel, Navia, but we have to change venues for the next part of the story anyway.
Huh? Another location?
Mm-hmm. There's a special note for the GM at the end of this section that says to proceed to an indoor set.
Whoa! They really pulled out all
Well, even if we end the game for the day, we can still stay a little longer and hear Clorinde finish her story, right?
Something tells me you just want to finish the free dessert.
That's just a coincidence, okay? Besides, and anyway, Paimon really does want to hear more about...
Well...
It's nothing. I appreciate the concern, but... My earliest memories are of living with Master. According to her, she saved me from certain people of ill repute.
Ah be.
What a
Bırakmışlar.
heavy beginning for a life story.
Master was a fascinating individual. If inexperienced, my first ever toy was a short sword. Although I suppose it wasn't so much a toy as something Master removed from her waist and handed to a noisy child.
Oh wait, so she handed an actual sword to a child?
Of course I did. I cut my
be.
palm and bled quite a lot. But Master was not concerned. She just stood there and, see, that's what you get for not holding the sword properly, she told me. She then crouched down next to me and said, "Give me your hand."
Excuse me for asking this, Clorinde, but
Probably around, 3, give or take.
3, evet.
3? Isn't that when most kids are still struggling to hold a fork?
As I said, Master was rather inexperienced in the ways of raising children. She believed
I'm not so sure this is a question of experience.
I didn't see anything wrong with her ways at the time. And anyway, children don't get to choose how they're raised. Oh, she did bring me back a pet from Liyue once. It was a Geovicious
Oha.
hatchling.
Ejderhan da mı getirdi?
A Geovicious hatchling? For a pet? That seems even more dangerous.
What she said was this: make sure to get along, you two. If you really can't agree on something, just settle it with a fight. Whoever loses is the real pet.
And how old were you when this happened?
4 diyecek şimdi.
5.
5 dedi.
Well, did you win?
No, I lost.
So, you're saying you actually became the Geovicious pet?
Çok güzel bir heyecan. Evet öyle. Çok güzel bir evcil
For a
hayvan.
week. By the end of that week, I defeated it in combat. And we've shared a cordial relationship ever since.
That really doesn't sound like the kind of childhood someone
Later on, I gradually understood that Master most likely didn't know any other way to raise a child. Thanks to her, I learned how to navigate the forest by the age of 6, and could hunt monsters in the wild by myself. Even though the training she subjected me to was strict, she always made sure to take me traveling when she had the time. like many of her friends.
I still remember the first time we met. You were too scared to join our picnic and hid behind Ms. Petronia the whole time.
I still hadn't really met many children my age at that time, so I didn't know how to interact with.
After that, though, you started coming over a lot. You loved challenging people to shooting competitions, remember?
I had a lot of fun during those days.
I enjoyed them too. Oh, do you remember that one time we went exploring around the Spina together? We overheard Papa call your master. We tried to pretend like we never heard anything, but you nearly let it slip that one time.
Protector of justice. Oh, wait, you mean that vigilante hero from 20 years ago?
Yep, that would be her. She often would put on a black cloak and go out at night.
20 years ago, huh? I still remember the guards leaving all kinds of witness reports.
My apologies.
Oh, there's no need to apologize. You had nothing to do with it. Although, calling herself the Protector of Order was a bit much.
Huh? When did the Protector of Justice become the Protector of Order?
Oh, she had a bunch of code names. I heard she would just come up with it later on. She probably got sick of answering those questions and decided to stick to just two.
That sounds like her, all right. I bet she forgot which of...
Well, she certainly sounds like a fascinating individual.
It's true. I always wanted to become like her. Someone
But...
She suddenly disappeared the night I turned 10 years old.
Disappeared? What happened?
I have no idea. She didn't even leave a
Ah
note.
be.
That night, I was celebrating my birthday at Navia's house. But Master never came to
Oy,
pick me up.
ben çok üzüldüm şu an.
When I
Çocuk
returned
tek
home
başına
one
mı
day,
dönmüş?
it was to an empty house. When she still didn't appear after a few days, I went to Mr. Callus's house to ask about her whereabouts. But he only shook his head.
Papa probably didn't know either. I know he sent a few people to investigate the matter in secret, but...
Don't worry, I understand. To be perfectly honest, given Master's personality and way of doing things, just like how, when a litter of kittens reaches a certain age, the mother...
Were you upset, Clor?
I was at first, but not anymore. I don't believe Master would suddenly disappear for no reason.
Ah be.
Well, despite everything, you still managed to follow in her footsteps and become the greatest champion duelist in all of Fontaine.
I suspect my position would be far too by the books for her. Master always did whatever she pleased.
Who knew Clorinde had such an interesting past? And I wonder if Clorinde's master were the champion duelist back then. Oh no. Judging by the atmosphere, Clorinde and Navia are probably thinking something similar. The mood just got super awkward all of a sudden.
Well, anyway...
Aynen sabah olacak.
Great time today, Miss Clorinde.
Anytime.
The script was good, but I've got to say... Hey, you should tell us more about that fight against the...
You...
What does she mean, on to something? I certainly don't know any 5-year-old. Guess I'll head back as well. I need...
You're that excited to hear about my fight with the bishop?
I was talking about the script.
Ben şöyle oturayım. 8'e kadar bekleyeceğiz. 8. Okay.
Let's go meet up with the group. Paimon's really looking
Oo,
forward to today's
daha
story.
dudaklılar bu sefer. Heh.
Skyward! Scatter!
Ah. Zindana girdi bu sefer de. Zindanda.
Looks like everyone's here. Now, before we begin, why don't we finish where we left off yesterday? There was an important decision to be made.
Is that really the most important part, though, Clorinde? Paimon's more concerned about our current heavy walls, cold railings, dim lights.
I admire the work put into the set. Still, it's obvious.
Daha
the
önce hiçbir
script
bir kere de
writer-
gitmemiş.
So this set is going to be a part of the script?
Unfortunately, that is something I can neither confirm nor deny.
Anyone think Clorinde's smile is starting to look kinda scary?
Well, whatever happens, we'll just have to push on. But first, we should really figure out what to do with this treasure. If we're worried about arousing suspicion because of our identity, why don't we give ourselves a different name, just like Clorinde's master did?
Yeah, it might be better to keep a low profile. As long as we're helping people, it doesn't matter who we are or what we're called.
Staring at me won't get you anywhere. Or did you once?
Why aren't you saying anything, Navia? Wait, what's that next to
Oh, this is the short sword Clorinde mentioned last night.
Oh.
I found it.
Huh. I'm surprised you managed to track it down after all this time.
Well, I made sure to take good care of it, considering the circumstances in which you get. Anyway, where were we? Oh, right. I was just thinking about all the potential ways for us to break out of prison. We could dig a tunnel.
Wait, we haven't been thrown into prison yet, have we?
Well, it's only a matter of time. It pays to be
Hazırlık.
prepared. Just like how you should always.
Alright, Paimon's made up her mind. Paimon may have wanted to keep it, but if it's going to land us in prison...
Parmağım kendi geçtiriyor ve
You've reached an agreement? All right then. We can continue with the.
Oh, and we'll collect all the scattered pieces of...
All right. You collect the treasure and make your way back to the capital with your bag of. The city is still shrouded in a gloomy, oppressive atmosphere. In places where sunlight struggles to reach, you generously share your wealth with the. Thank you, kind soul. The elderly woman's look of gratitude follows you as you walk away, her eyes never leaving your back.
She's probably trying to tell us to speed this up.
Should we go find that man again at the square? He seemed like a pretty responsible.
Oh, good idea!
Just as you start to make way to the square, intent on finding the man again, please wait, distinguished guests. Several strange guards suddenly call out to you. They run forward to meet you.
Greetings, gentlemen. Are we being invited for afternoon tea?
Surely you jest, my lady. That would not be our place. It is His Excellency the King who
Do you think?
Well, we have to investigate the court at some point, right? Meeting the king him.
I say we go for it. If something happens.
That's...
After a quick discussion, you nod to the guards and agree to follow. They lead you all the way to the audience hall of the palace. Gilded tables line both sides of the hall. The space itself is adorned with all manner of expensive antiques.
Wow, it's so...
The elderly king, clad in a magnificent robe, sits upon the deep crimson. He wears above his head a majestic crown, with a gemstone the size of a bird's. They're here, your majesty. A man dressed in dark clothes, likely a minister, shields his mouth with his hand. After a moment, he lowers his hands and stands back up.
The king does not appear entirely aware of his surroundings. The man by his side, though. We should keep.
The king remains still and says nothing. The minister is the one who speaks. Esteemed guests, allow me to thank you for coming to our faraway kingdom. Unfortunately, His Majesty I've heard tell that your group, the Marechaussee Hunters, used your accept. However, seeing that I was not fortunate enough to observe such a feat with my.
Well, we've got nothing to hide. You brought us here to talk, right? So we'll just explain. The golem's blades were so powerful, they could cut down trees in a single swipe. Well, that was enough details, right?
Your account does indeed match those of the survivors, since you were the ones who
Well,
Dersene yedik biz onu.
How did he know about the
Harcadık.
treasure?
Ah, then I must ask that you return it.
Yo.
Wait, but didn't you just say that our great deed deserved a reward? Shouldn't the treasure be considered a part of that?
Yet only that which is freely given by the king can be considered a reward.
But that's completely unreasonable.
yeah, that makes no sense. If it weren't for us, the treasure would.
Maybe so, yet the fact remains. You tried to dispose of the treasure without reporting it to the court and without receipt. What? No answer? Surely you're not insinuating that you, a group of legendary marechaussee hunters.
Well, what about the king? Is he.
Clad in his magnificent robe, the king remains seated, with his hands resting on either side of the throne.
From the look of things, could the Prime Minister be the evil sorcerer?
I would like to observe the number of guards stationed in the.
The guards in the palace appear fully armed, their expressions solemn. Sensing the tense atmosphere in the room, they stand at the ready.
Well, there goes my plan to turn the whole place upside down, I guess.
It appears we've been visited by nothing more than a group of ill-intentioned imposters. Before I decide your fate, however, I must first determine whether you have any.
Can't we try to slip away? Or maybe start some kind of riot?
But if we try to fight the guards right now...
Don't worry. At least we figured out who's behind all this. Let's just play it by ear.
Benim dilim söylesin.
Thank you, guys.
You allow yourself to be led away by guards surrounding you on. It's only when you begin to feel drops of water falling from the dungeon ceiling and smell the stench of. Stay here and don't try anything funny. The guards lock the cell door and leave without looking back.
Wait, sir!
Arkamızda yiyecekler
Your
ya.
voice echoes through the dark hall, but the only response you receive.
No. What should we do now?
Carve out a new path of fate with our own two hands, of course.
You reach toward your waist, but find nothing there. You now recall that your weapons were confiscated.
What about that knife I hid in my boot?
When did you hide it in there?
When I was thinking about digging a tunnel.
Rejected. You failed to inform the GM of this course of action.
Ah.
Moreover, the guards would have
Bozma oyunu abi,
searched
bozma.
before throwing you in prison.
And the keys to the cell aren't anywhere to be seen?
Correct. You don't even feel a lock hole on the cell door.
Oh, well, there goes all our plans.
Indeed.
Huh? Why are you the one saying indeed?
Because that statement holds true for me as well.
Ah, bitti mi? Bu
This is
kadar
where the
mıydı?
script ends.
What? But that's a terrible ending!
Generally speaking, this should be the point where the scriptwriter gives the players some kind of hint.
I mean, maybe they just really wanted us to be immersed in the feeling of being in prison.
That is a possibility.
If only there were desserts and tea in real prison. Oh, wait, guess it's kind of how the Fortress of Maripede works if you're lucky.
Oh, before I forget, Navia, the short sword you had with you earlier, I took a closer look, and the craftsmanship doesn't appear to resemble anything from this era.
Wait,
Yüzüğüm var.
Clorinde said that sword used to belong to her master, right? Does that mean...
I doubt it. The way she went about things often made her seem childish more than anything.
Hang on. A precious heirloom passed down to you by your master.
Master left many things to me when she disappeared. There was the sword, an old
Ah
key.
be ya.
I gave you the sword back then, because I didn't want our friendship to end.
Oh, no.
When did this happen exactly?
After the duel. Between Mr. Callis and myself.
Sesleri biraz açabilir misiniz? Ses burada hala ortalama ses şey gibi. Dur açayım. Hehe.
Before that, Clorinde
Şu an
would
nasıl?
have meals with us and even stay over at the Spina some days. She was on great terms with Papa as well. After the duel, though, there was a period of time where we simply didn't know how to face each other. She entrusted... We were both sad and conflicted. And totally overthinking everything as a result. Whenever I looked at this sword,
İyi, tamam,
I
okey.
couldn't help but wonder if Miss Petronia had never introduced back then. It felt like I hadn't just lost a father, but a...
No one can change the past. The most important thing is that you two...
Yep, you're right.
I'm sorry, you two. I didn't...
Think nothing of it. No one here is at fault.
Kim düştü? Biri düştü.
Oh, looks like the next part of our script is here.
Hmm.
Perfect timing. The situation was really starting.
From Clorinde's face, Paimon really can't tell if it's good news or bad news.
Water continues to drip from the ceiling. In this lightless dungeon, you lack a reliable way to tell how... Eventually, you get used to the unpleasant odor of straw, mold, and rust. Suddenly, you hear footsteps outside the door.
Heads up, everyone. Someone's coming.
Gather close, everyone, and keep your voice down.
Who are you?
I work as a guard in these dungeons, but my true identity is the same as your own. Shh. I've already sent away the other guards, but if we make too much...
I understand, but how can we be sure we can
The king has issued a formal decree. In light of the irrefutable proof of your crime, you're to...
Executed? We barely did anything!
Monsters appearing at the same location as the treasure.
There will be time for speculation once we're out of here. As for my identity, infiltrating the capital was difficult, and finding a chance to speak with you has taken a lot out of me.
Have you seen our weapons anywhere, sir?
Don't worry, I brought them with me. They're just behind the door.
Okay.
His
Thank
faction
you.
is too powerful. The guards are all under his control, and he's to defeat him. You must find a secret vault. It is said that within that vault, the marsh...
You're not coming with us?
No, I'll remain in the dungeons to deal with the guards. I'll try my best. As long as my identity is not revealed, I'll be able...
In that case, please stay safe.
Thank you for your concern. I will do my utmost. As for the location of the vault, here, this map should lead you there.
Tamam.
Got it.
All right, once I open the door, remember to stick close and refrain from making any noise. I'll lead you out of here. You now have the chance to restore the honor and legacy of the Mara Shosei Hunters, and be sure to exercise...
With the help of the guard, you successfully escape the dungeons.
Wait, we didn't get to use our skills at all while we were in prison. Who knows when we're gonna get the chance to use that cool summon spell?
That is a pity, but we can only continue to move forward.
Nerede? Bunların mı altında yoksa?
Stray cloud converge! Painting the glory to the Shogun! Flash!
Give me some space.
Bana vurmayın. İyi. Burada mı? Nerede? Burada mı? Ha, buradaymış.
This should be the
Yanlışlıkla
place
daldım.
marked on the map.
This bit of rock certainly looks suspicious.
Gördüm, sağ ol, teşekkür ederim. Son anda gördüm.
Well, I'd say an investigation's in order then. Plus,
Wow, you really met.
Before you lies a serene stretch of open water, its surface shimmering
Well, guess this means it's.
Yay.
The show begins!
Bak, unuttum. Gel. Heh. Buradan mı? Yes, buradan. Geç geliyor, evet, öyle, ondan farkındayım ya.
Oh, what's the matter?
It's nothing. As you step into the cave, you find yourself in an eerily quiet space.
Ben şöyle yapayım da, çünkü oyun açınca olmuş. Tanrılarla yapayım da daha rahat oynayayım.
Wow, this must be where the treasure is hidden.
But this door is blocking our way in. It'll.
Huh. What have we got down here? A kind of mechanism connected to the door?
A pattern on a stone door. That's
Is something wrong, Clorinde?
After a long, difficult journey, you finally arrive at the location indicated by your map. Your surroundings are exceedingly quiet and serene, as if the secret that's...
That description makes Paimon feel.
We're doing this for the sake of the people, to free them from the evil sorcerer.
Linny's right. We need to keep going. The next part of the story requires us to solve the puzzle, right?
Yes, that should be fine. Something feels off about all this. Guess I'll just have to improvise.
Derken. Fırın 2 tane fırında. Başka var mı? Şurada varmış.
I found something.
Ne buldun?
Found something here too.
Same here.
Hani? Oldu mu? Yes.
It worked.
Something just appeared. Some kind of new mechanism.
By solving the puzzles, You prove yourselves worthy of inheriting the secrets of the past at the end of each puzzle.
With?
Ne?
A key.
Ki. 1,5 anahtar ama bir değil.
Oh, it must be the key to the big door.
This is one of the Marechaussee Hunter keys that are passed down from... It is said that 4 keys in total are required to form the final, complete...
Huh? What's wrong?
You hear a few strange noises. Suddenly, all...
What's going on? Did we...
For the sake of immersion, please close your eyes, everyone.
But Paimon can still see a little bit over here. Oh, right. Sorry.
Suddenly, you hear the sound of footsteps pierce through the darkness.
There's someone else here? Oh, this is so unsettling.
I've been discovered then.
Wait, that voice, it's...
You recognize the voice as belonging to the guard who led you to this place.
Oh.
It appears he now covets...
Oh, so this is just part of the script. Well, if we can't see anything, that means we can't fight to the fullest.
Judging by the way he's holding his sword, he must be a real Marechaussee Hunter.
Retreat? That's not the Hunter way.
Your choice is noted. Please keep your eyes closed until...
You got it!
Well then.
Clorine'le tek atacağız değil mi? Yes.
Into the shadows.
I'd like to try to hit him with my sword.
Your strike is successful.
Is he still standing? Goodness, he sure has a lot of HP.
Is it over? Can we open our eyes now?
The enemy is strong and relentless, but the battle is nearing its end.
What about now?
Final strike. Ha!
Well, did we get him? Clorinde?
Warm fire flickers across the walls once more. Your vision is now clear. In an impressive display of courage, the 4 of you successfully defeat the uninvited. That look in his eyes. It's like he became an entirely different person as soon as I defeated him.
Huh? Mr. Florian? Oh, wait. We're supposed to be role-playing. I should stay in character. Speak your name, guard. Why did you... Is this treasure really more important to you than bring...
What kingdom? What peace? Those were not... I, Florian, am a true Marechaussee Hunter, descended from hunters of
So he's also using his real name. Or, wait.
Then I'm even more confused. If you truly are a Marechaussee Hunter, shouldn't you want to help us just like you said before? Shouldn't we fight together for the sake of the people?
What do you know? In this day and age, there's no glory to be had.
What's that supposed to mean?
My skills were passed down to me by my father. We lived a life of obscurity in the remote wilderness. And what did he get in return? A life of poverty and pain. In a world that forgot all about him. The Marechaussee Hunters were the ones who saved this city. We're heroes. We just...
Is he talking about how no one in the capital seems to remember the hunters and they're like...
So that's why you want to take the treasure for yourself? You feel like you're...
If you already knew where the treasure was located, why didn't you just come down here and take it?
Because I still needed...
Only a true Marechaussee Hunter, as someone who sought to hurt others for his own gain.
Okay, but what is this treasure at...
You're sure you want to go in?
We've been talking about it for so long. Of course we want...
And we've already defeated Florian, right? So...
Pesky
Seni
brats.
kontrol ettiler.
Watch yourself.
Then let's open the door together.
All right. Your choice of action is confirmed. Before you, the door to the treasure, sealed at... You hear the shrill wail of the door hinge as it rotates for the first time after years of disuse. Almost like a sleeping giant.
It's open! Come on, let's go in! Paimon wants to see what's inside!
Ooh, me too! Ugh, uncovering hidden treasure is the most
A stone tablet? And some shabby weapons?
You call this a treasure vault? Looks more like...
Maybe the troop ran out of budget at the end?
They provided a super immersive experience at the beginning only to drop the ball at the most important part.
Wait, I get it now. Paimon, this is the real...
This is it? The Marashose Hunter treasure is just a stone slab and some broken swords?
Ne oluyor?
Whoa, are you okay?
Film o.
The Marashose hunter before you appears to suffer a serious mental breakdown. One of you seems to understand the significance of the treasure already. If the rest...
Okay. Ha, ben gidiyorum tamam.
Load it. So, how are you doing? Feeling...
What just happened?
Do you remember how you got here? Or what?
I remember now. I brought you here because I wanted to... The explosives in the cave!
You mean
Oh.
these?
Huh? How did you...
I could tell something was off the moment I stepped into this cave, so I kept an eye out. I've...
So the strongest champion duelist in all of Fontaine saved the day once again.
I deserve some answers, don't you think? Everything you said earlier sounded like the truth. Luckily...
I don't know. I just always felt like there was something in my heart that didn't belong. The feelings about my father and the other Marashose hunters are real. It just wasn't fair. I was angry, bitter that... I don't know when it started, but at some point, my anger came to completely consume me.
But if the treasure was all you cared about, why plant all those explosives? Wouldn't they just destroy the treasure?
I can't remember. My...
From your description, I suspect you were dealing with a devil.
Devorator?
Oh, your master... your father.
No, I've heard of it. I'm just not sure what... Wait, it can't be. The seal!
The seal?
My family has served as Marashose hunters for many generations. My father instructed me to always watch over that seal and maintain it regularly. Truly ancient age, and protecting it was our clan's most important duty. But I neglected that duty after he died. I finally...
The Devorator would be a formidable adversary for any mortal being. If you lacked the power to completely destroy it, you could easily fall prey to its influence and corruption.
I heard it has the power to amplify the obsessions and desires in people's hearts.
And yet, you were able to retrieve 3 of the 4 keys. If I remember correctly...
One of them belonged to my father. The second I stole from a different hunter. And the third... was one that I snatched while the... I know just how strong you are. It's as clear as day to everyone in Fontaine. I observed you from dusk to dawn, but could never find... The only way I could think to obtain that last key was to lure you here using your hobby, and then... Oh, I get it.
I won't comment on anything else.
Well, I did pour my heart and soul into it. The stories my father used to tell me about the glory of the heroic Marashose hunters.
It's more than just a story.
Huh?
You're proud to be a hunter. You're still holding onto that part of yourself.
I have done so many despicable things.
Then explain the purpose of the evil sorcerer in your story. Isn't he the true antagonist? The one who sought nothing but his own gain.
Yeah.
But I've already tainted my sword.
Wake up, Florian. Remember, do you really think the hunters acted out of a desire for honor and glory? Or to be loved and... You do not wield your sword for yourself, but to protect those you... Do you still not understand? Even after seeing the treasure for yourself? The content...
You're right. I am a Marashose hunter. It's time for me to
I wouldn't be so quick to push aside the need...
I know. That's a charge I won't bother to defend.
Good. Then, come with me. And help me see the script through to the end.
Huh? See the script through to the...
Never finished it, huh?
No, I mean, I wrote the script with the sole purpose of luring you...
Ah be.
Then we'll just have to keep writing it. The evil...
You mean the Devorator?
Is that really so hard? You've already written most of it. Sure.
You aren't afraid your party will fall into...
I know what my friends are capable of. And they're all quite skilled.
Then, are you going to tell them the truth about all this?
I don't intend to spoil the fun.
Geldim. Fış fış fış fış fış fış fış fış fış fış. Hayır şuraya. Yanlışına gitti.
They're back!
That took a while.
Ahem! My fellow Marashose hunters, please forgive me, for I have sinned.
Tone it down.
Sorry. After crossing swords with you and witnessing your courage in battle, I've rediscovered my true self and regained...
Oh, do I smell a...
I confess, I was brainwashed by the evil sorcerer. He asked me to lure you here, so he...
That little... Wait, you're saying all of that wasn't you, but the evil sorcerer?
That's right. He's adept at manipulating the hearts and minds of the people.
And how are you going to prove that you're a changed man? We're not going to fall for the same trap twice.
To be perfectly honest, I only came to my senses after seeing the treasure. The treasure was actually...
The names of all the Marashose hunters from ages past and their weapons?
Wait, you already know?
Of course. Don't underestimate a veteran role player's exploration skills. Oh, wait.
We just finished reading through the content of the stone tablet.
That tablet recorded the lives of some fascinating people. For example, she inherited the responsibilities of the Golden Hunter and passed judgment on many people. But
So, she was just like you.
oh, you really think so?
Well, when you put it that way, I suppose I also have a few things in common with it. Working as an executioner, he supposedly used a countless number of tricks to confound his enemies in battle.
Their lives were all so exciting. You could write so many cool books about their accomplishments.
Because they chose to be. To hunt monsters that only appear in the shadows, you must also operate in the dark.
Then this stone tablet must have been left behind.
That's right. Few Marashose hunters ever revealed their identity to the public. The only time they spoke of their accomplishments would be at night, when they gathered with their fellow hunters in front of...
So, this tablet was created not so that...
No wonder this place was so well hidden.
You regard the stone tablet in solemn silence. The names of your comrades etched onto its surface. The tablet proves that, although a hunter walks a shrouded path, it is not their legacies shall continue to be passed down from generation.
Father, you once told me that I should seek out the treasure if I ever be... Thank you, my friend. I implore you, everyone, please give me a chance to make up for all I've done. Allow me to fight alongside you and defeat the evil sorcerer that threatens the peace and prosperity of everyone in this kingdom.
Well, I say we...
Sounds good to me too. Everyone makes mistakes.
I have no objections, but... Mr. Florian, do you even know how...
When he took over my mind, I gained some insight into his thoughts.
Huh? He's afraid of the treasure?
What if the secret's hidden inside these GM, permission to investigate.
Ondur tablo. Başarılı oluyor. Bir kere de
At
başarısız
first
seçim.
glance,
Panik geri
the
seçtim mesela.
weapons appear absolutely ordinary. But as you observe them, these blades have slain countless monsters. Though it's been a long time since they were used in battle, they're...
So basically, take these with us, right?
Aha.
I'll take this weapon, since it used to belong to Est. Maybe it'll find comfort.
Ah, good idea. I'll take Mr. Walter's bow then. From one archer magician to another.
Hmm.
Paimon's gonna pick a cool weapon too!
Cool weapon.
As you grip your weapons, you can almost feel the will of past hunters coursing through your being.
Mr. Florian, do you know where to find the evil sorcerer?
I was able to see his surroundings when our minds were connected. I believe he's currently
Benim
hiding
evimde
out in the
Bodrum'da
church in the
ama
kingdom.
kırıklık kilidi.
We must be extremely careful. He's spent so long.
Then why don't we explore some more and try to find some higher level
No, we have to strike now. He was greatly weakened when I managed to break out of his control. If we let him rest...
I agree with Mr. Florian. We've got to act while we have the advantage.
Yeah, now that we've got a plan, there's no point in waiting.
Yes, that's what's called... Yes, that's
Alright, you've...
Mr. Florian, please.
Of course.
Haydi
We
let's
had
go.
to set up so many scenes today, and now...
Finally, you decide to slay the evil sorcerer and bring peace back. As you walk away, you feel the gaze of the stone tablet at your back.
Ah be. Şöyle bir şey yapayım. Burada var bir şey. Bunu alayım. Yani işte yani bir sandık falan koysaydınız keşke oyun. Yani neyse. Nereden? Buradan.
Finally, you arrive at the church Florian
Kilise.
described.
Modun kilise. Ne oluyor sandık yeniyor mu? Sandık
As you
yeniyor mu?
approach, an ominous
Yuva
aura
insanlık yeniyor mu?
surrounds you. You get the sense.
How strange. This uneasy feeling seems so real.
Now, it is time for the final battle.
Let's go.
Florian, wait.
What's wrong?
I think you should wait outside.
Hmm.
You've already been corrupted by... I don't think it's a good idea for you to be this close. If it corrupts you again...
That's exactly why I have to go. Why I should be at the...
Oo.
You mean...
Yes. I intend to lure it into my body.
Ah be, kendini
That's
feda
too
edecek bu.
risky. If things get out of hand, I might have to kill you.
I understand, but if I do this, you'll have a clear end. The Devorator will have a hard time passing up a chance to enter a body it knows how to control. You're not like me, Miss Clorinde. You're a just and powerful Marechaussee hunter. The monster broke... This is... something. Consider it a duel to restore my honor. My only request...
Then, as a champion duelist, I hereby accept your request for a duel.
Oo.
And
Thank you.
the battle is now upon us. Let the Devorator once again tremble under the blade of the Marechaussee hunter.
Bana Clorine'i ver, oynayayım lütfen. Lütfen. Bana Clorine'i ver lütfen oyun. Lütfen. Son bir kere daha oynayayım. Clorine lütfen. Aha. Wow. Aa!
So lifelike.
Aman aman abi ya. Bana yok mu? Bana niye yok? Güzel dövüşüyoruz ha.
This foe is not invincible. You hold the treasure. The power to defeat it in your own 2 hands.
The treasure? You mean... The names. It's the Marshose Hunters' names.
How are we supposed to...
You forget, Paimon? There's still one skill we saved until the very end.
Hunters fight not for fame, but to aid the people whenever they are summoned.
Walter the Marashose Hunter.
Oh.
Master of 1,000 tricks. Executioner of the Phantom Hunters. I call for aid!
Aa, çok güzel.
The Marshose Hunter, inheritor of Cassiodor's will, judge of the Shadow Hunters. Answer my call!
Wow.
Petronia, protector of justice and order. The hunter I respect the most. Thank you for saving my friend, the best one I'll ever know. Please, lend us your strength.
We have come to answer your summons.
İnanmıyorum. Geliyor. Tek attı.
And so, the monsters were eradicated, and the sorcerer was defeated. Peace soon returned to the capital. Those in the court, manipulated by the sorcerer, also recognized some remembered the names of the heroes who saved their kingdom. But others simply continued their lives none the wiser. Such is the story of the Marashose Hunters. They pursue the phantoms in the darkness and exterminate all who pose a threat. They will always protect the city and those within it, even should all memory of their accomplishments be forgotten by the very people they serve.
I'm assuming we...
Yes, you've reached one of the better endings.
Yay.
It's a pretty solid story overall. I thought it was just an ordinary adventure. That final battle especially. All the effects were super realistic.
Oh, right. Yeah, totally.
Ah, that's a really good point. I never expected the weapons we...
Yeah, mine nearly scared the daylights out of me when it started glowing. I took a good look at it after we got out. Oh, we should probably give these props back, right?
Did you have a good time?
Of course. Let me know if another script like this comes around.
Sure, no problem.
Then I'll head back for now. I think I need some time to... Once Mr. Florian is awake, please pass on my regards to him. He must be extremely exhausted.
You're right. He's had a lot to deal with.
Well, see you all some other time. Toodaloo!
Çok mutlu gidiyor.
Okay, so,
I think it should be fine. Yeah.
what in the world was going on back there?
So you saw through all of that?
That time in the cave when you told us...
I was dying of curiosity the entire time. I mean, you did a pretty
Evet.
bang-up job of pretending
Bunun
nothing had gone
farkında
wrong.
Guess
değildi.
none of us wanted to be the one to break the illusion.
What are you all talking about?
Aptal bu kızlar da yazık Fırna'ya. Ya söyleme öyle. Fırna'm da Fırna'm söyleme öyle Fırna'ya şimdi.
Don't tell me you never... this is all my fault.
Bit late for that, don't you think?
You're saying everything that happened?
It's probably more accurate to say this was never a real scripted story.
What?
So loud.
Hey, you! Get up right now and explain yourself!
No shaking, please!
Did Paimon just hear that right? You guys made up that whole... It's not nice to lie to people, but Paimon's got to admit, that was a really good story, Florian.
Yeah, it was like watching a magician improvise a spectacular magic trick after forgetting an...
If Paimon knew something was wrong with that vault, she would have floated straight in the...
Everything was under control.
As if you've ever described a situation as being out.
Guess I'm just used to it.
You must run into a lot of unexpected situations then.
As for you, Florian,
I know there's no excuse for what I did. I'll turn
Okay.
myself...
I would say you've already suffered more than enough.
What?
You may have been blinded by fame and fortune in the beginning, but your actions during the final battle had proven you to be a true Marashose. You'll be far more used to the city above ground than below.
Oh.
Your job as a hunter is...
But...
Of course, you'll still need to take the keys and pay a personal visit to the 2 hunters you wronged.
Yes, of course.
As far as I'm concerned, though, you're showing in the...
Then I'll do exactly as you said. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll do my best to prove myself worthy of the second chance you've... Until we meet again, everyone.
Normalde hikaye görevleri bu kadar olmazdı ama bu bayağı yapmış adamlar ya. Bitmiyor abi. Saat
Speaking of Marashose
5:30
hunters,
neydi bilmiyorum.
what should we
Saat
do about
8:05
the
geçiyor.
treasure in that
Wow.
cave?
Leave it be.
Are you sure? We could show it to people, make it so that the hunters are remembered.
No. Every name on that tablet made the same choice. All hunters know what the path... I am no exception. My identity as a Marashose hunter is not something I need people to remember.
That's certainly very different from the path of a magician.
Wait! Paimon just remembered something. If there were no special effects involved...
That's because the Marashose hunters of ages past would often imbue their weapons with special enchantments to suppress the monsters. Whenever a
Aynı
monster was
Witcher gibi.
nearby,
Oha çok güzel.
So that's why they had an effect on that guy near the end. I really thought the summons were
Kaptan son
doing all the
süremi
work.
değişir.
well,
bu
I'm
da
sure the
böyle.
summons were a part of it too.
Oh? How so?
This particular devorator probably hailed from the same era as the hunters we saw, and the names you recited all belonged to the bravest hunters. Countless monsters fell to their blade.
So the names held the power...
Navia, everything you said...
Huh? Oh, I meant...
I really appreciated those words.
all right. Don't get... anyway, let's not talk about that anymore. I'm...
Okay.
She ran off!
I should probably head back as well. This story was truly incredible. Goodbye.
Görüşürüz bebeğim.
Traveler, should your name and deeds be forgotten?
I suppose the significance would be the journey itself
Neyse
and the
aklı
world
olduğu
we
için
helped
mutluydu.
create.
Aynen.
There's still value in the time I shared with everyone here. In the thing...
A great answer. I'll remember it. Me? The Marashose hunter says nothing in response to that question. Perhaps her answer lies in her silence. An unspoken vow left to echo through the night.
Ah be. Bunu beğendim, bu güzeldi. Ha, kitabı da verdi bana, dur. Bunu ikna etme araştırma. Smart köfte. Çağırma. Tıp yemek pişirme çağırma. Paymonu yok. Beğendim, güzeldi.
Born.
Aa, bir şey yok ama.
Isn't there anything else
Ha, başım da yok.
interesting to do?
Okey. Ben bırakayım hazır. Buradayken beklediğimden fazla uzundu. Diyeyim, az bir dinleneyim. Belki akşam Tuba abla çağırsa orada görüşürüz. Yine. Seyrettiğiniz için teşekkür ederim.
Tea parties are a
Kendinize iyi
must
bakın.
for the well-mannered.
Görüşmek üzere.
If
Bye
you'd like
bye.
to learn the proper etiquette,
Bye
I'd be happy
bye.
to teach you.
Bye. Bye. Bye.